If the swimmer in the east lane is attending push pad, please. Push pad in your lane.
Hit it. Hit it.
Lane 7 and 8. Get someone on lane 7 and 8.
Lindsay!
Someone get a push pad in lane 7 and lane 8. Thank you. Lane 7. Lane 7. Okay, we're going to get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 52nd meter of the Bulkeley Relay. Get started.
Get you at the bottom of the lane. Get you at the bottom of the lane.
Let's go, boys! Let's go, Jackson!
Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, swim fans of all ages, welcome, 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 welcome one, welcome all. My name is Chris Prentice, and we are smack dab in the middle of event number 3 of the Bulkeley Relays. Thank you for checking out WHCI's coverage. We really appreciate your viewership. If you know any friends or family that might be interested, you can share the link to this video, you can share the link to this live stream out with them, and they can join in on the fun. We're all about fun and family here in West Hartford. Like I said, we're right in the middle of event number 3. This is the 800-yard freestyle relay. And I got to tell you, this swim meet's a little bit different than any I've ever been to. We've got 2 divisions going head-to-head. We've got the white division, we've got the maroon division. In the white division, we have the schools listed as follows: Bulkeley, East Hartford, Newington, Avon, Rocky Hill, and South Windsor. Swimming for the maroon division, we've got Berlin, Conard, Farmington, Hall, Southington, and Windsor. That's who's in the pool. Unfortunately, I gotta let you know, unfortunately, I don't have any individual names of swimmers, but that's okay. I can tell you which school is in which lane. I can tell you which division is in which lane. Right now, event number 3, if we take a look down at the pool in lane 1, that's the one closest to the top of your screen. That's the maroon division. Farmington is in lane 1. Maroon division's in lane 2 as well, Berlin. Lane 3, Southington, maroon division. Lane 4, South Windsor, also maroon division. Lanes 5, 6, and 7, all white division. Bulkeley, East Hartford, and Rocky Hill in that order. And then in lane 8, South Windsor of the maroon division. All taking part in the 800-yard freestyle relay here at the Bulkeley Relays. As I'm looking through my heat sheet here, I'm taking a peek into the future, and they call it the Bulkeley Relays for a reason. We got only relays on the docket tonight. So a lot of big swims, a lot of long races. Thank you once again for tuning in. I managed to make it over here in time to catch most of the action, and I'm so glad about it. Looks like 6 lanes still active here. And I apologize, I flew into the pool area with all the fury of Apollo on his chariot careening across the sky, right? I flew in here, I burst through the doors, got here as quickly as I could. So I'm a little off my game right now, knowing who's in the lead. But it looks like, if I'm taking a look at the scoreboard, lane 6 is well finished. That's the only inactive lane. You'll see it there in the middle of your screen. They wrapped up their relay in under 8 minutes, the only team to do so. Never mind, it looks like the scoreboard just became active again, but there's no swimmer in that lane. Very interesting. You might be able to see it just on the edges of your screen. The pool on all sides, covered in teams from all across the region. We have our first finishing team, lane 3, Southington of the maroon division. With the final wall touch for them, 8 minutes, 39.92 seconds. They were able to snag that ahead of everyone else. Only a few swimmers remaining to enter the water. Second place finisher there in lane 1 of the Maroon Division. We've got Farmington touching the wall finally at 9:22.18. The third place finisher now in lane 5, Bulkeley High School of the White Division. They managed to touch the wall at 9:42.23. Still active in the pool lanes 2, 6, and 7. To kind of open up the swim season here for the boys this winter. With a big old shindig like this, inviting everyone from all around to come to little old Cornerstone Pool. Both Hall and Conard represented here. And a lot of friendly rivals, friendly local rivals. East Hartford High, Newington, South Windsor, Farmington, neighbors, friends and neighbors. Inviting them over for a friendly swim. Lane 2 now able to touch the wall at 10:56.65, coming in 4th place there. That'd be Berlin. Like I said, we're just entering the beginning stages of the season for the boys here. It's good to see new swimmers on the team, replacing those graduating seniors from last year, filling out the ranks. And the same old friendly faces when it comes to the coaching staff. That's awesome. It's good to see some longevity there. Lane 7, Rocky Hill, pulling in 5th place. Touching the wall at 11:59.88. A lot of friendly faces over at the officials table. A lot of long-standing contributors to this swim community here. Love to see it. Our final swimmer makes it to the wall to raucous applause. And there it is, lane 6, touching now East Hartford. As our swimmers extract themselves from the water. Once again, well done to Southington in lane 3.
300-yard breaststroke relay. There are 2 heats, heat number 1.
Up next, we got the event number 4. That's going to be the 300-yard breaststroke relay coming up. We got 2 heats on that one. Here's heat number 1 coming your way. In lane 1, you'll see Rocky Hill. Lane 2, East Hartford. Lane 3, Newington High School. Lane 4, Rocky Hill. Lane 5, Avon. Lane 6, Bulkeley. Lane 7, Farmington. Swimmers have taken their marks, and they're in the water. This is a 300-yard breaststroke relay. Looks like lane 3 out to an early lead contested by lane 7. Lane 3 is Newington, lane 7, Farmington. Counting from the top of your screen. Well, on that turnaround, Farmington lost a lot of ground. Newington exploding down the lane there. You got to check out those underwaters there in lane 3. He's almost a halfway down the pool by the time he emerges. That's what's giving him his distance there. No other swimmer standing a chance at this point. Check him out. Look how long he stays underwater. He's turned around. He's underwater for a full 3.5, 4, maybe 5 seconds before he reemerges. And you can make a lot of ground quickly. You can gain a lot of ground very quickly that way. And he's done exactly that. He's put his team in an excellent position. Lane 3, the first, to get a new swimmer into the water at 108.25. And they have the lead well in hand. Looks like Farmington in lane 7 now able to get another swimmer into the water. Still keeping my eyes on lane 3, Newington. They've been practicing those dolphin kicks, those underwaters. Looks like we've got a new swimmer in every lane at this point. But Newington in lane 3, third lane from the top of your screen. I mean, they got the lead. And it's going to be hard for anyone to overcome that. They're underwaters. Every swimmer so far who's hit the water halfway across the pool before they emerge. Staying underwater that long, you really avoid a lot of the wake from the other swimmers. You'll avoid a lot of the chop right at the surface. You're able to use the wall, pressing off the wall with your feet, and then just kind of undulating your body like a dolphin. They call it dolphin kicks, right? If you're able to do that, you're able to gain a lot of ground very quickly, and all of their swimmers so far are masters at this. Here comes another swimmer, lane 3, watch him, here he goes. Enters the water, how long does he stay under? Not bad, not bad. He's nearly halfway down the pool before he has to emerge. The real test is when he comes off the wall here. Let's see. Not bad. The previous 2 swimmers really showed us how it was done there. That was a strong underwater performance there from him as well. Taking a look at all the other lanes, I mean, we're moving right along. Everyone's making their slow progress down the pool, and this one's not really a sprint. You know, we've done the freestyle relay. That one's more of a sprint. This one's about breath control. This one's about endurance. I just love looking at either end of the pool to watch all of the energy pouring in from the sides. And there it is, a first place finish. Lane 5 from Avon. Sneaky. Able to grab that first place finish. And there's lane 3. Newington. Not able to sustain that strong performance from their first 2 swimmers, but able to hold their own. So we've got lane 5 in first place, that's Avon, well done to them. Newington in lane 3 taking the second place spot. And the third place spot goes to lane 2, East Hartford. Right behind them, lane 6, Bulkeley, finishing 4th. Lane 7 coming in 5th. It'll be Farmington. We've got 1 swimmer left to cheer on. This is a good forum for our newer swimmers to kind of get their, I mean, I guess to get their feet wet, right? I mean, this is a good place for freshman swimmers, new to the team, to kind of figure out what's going on in the pool, how to operate under pressure, how to operate in a relay, get your timing right, get your dive in right, get your underwaters right. This is a great time to hone in, put to practice what you've been doing in all of your training. Put it into practice here, under the pressure of competition, because it is different on competition day. Here comes heat number 2. This is still event number 4, the boys 300-yard breaststroke relay. We've got 8 active lanes here. In lane 1, South Windsor. Lane 2, Farmington. Lane 3, Hall High School. Lane 4, Southington High School. Lane 5, South Windsor. Lane 6, Berlin. Lane 7, Conard. And at the bottom of your screen, lane 8, Farmington High School. And this heat starting off a little more evenly than heat number 1. Looking at lane number 2 and lane 5. Going to be our 2 leaders right now. Both touching the wall right about the 30-second mark. But lane 5, South Windsor, out to a slight lead. About a second and a half ahead of lane 2. That's Farmington. And as our next relayers take their stands on the perch, waiting for the swimmer in the water to make contact with the water, lane 5 makes contact, 105.5. Lane 2 right behind at 107.9. Lane 4 in third place, 115.46. It'll be Southington. But lanes 2 and 5, that's Farmington and South Windsor, nearly neck and neck. Lane 5, literally 0.3 of a second slower than lane 2. So trading the lead back and forth between lane 2 and 5, that's Farmington and South Windsor. New swimmers hit the water. Our leaders have not changed. It's still lanes 2 and 5. To really put your swimmers to the test. See who's a strong opener in a relay. Who's a good cleanup guy? Who can you put it as your anchor swimmer? You know, who can make up a lot of ground? Who can make up a lost lap? We got a first place finisher in lane 2. That's Farmington. Able to touch the wall at 3 minutes, 15.75 seconds. Lane 5, about 10 seconds slower in second place. 3:25.47. Lane 5, that's South Windsor. Lane 4, in third place, touching the wall in 3 minutes, 33.3 seconds. Southington High School, a lot of threes on the scoreboard for Southington. Our fourth place finisher is lane 6. It's going to be Berlin High School, touching the wall at 3:53.9. Lane 1 in fifth place, touching at 3:58.2. at South Windsor. Still a few lanes active. There's our 6th and 7th placed finishers in lanes 3 and 7. And lane 8 in 8th. Well done to all of our swimmers.
Next event.
That'll do it. That'll do it for the 4th event. We're moving on now to another 2-heat event. It's the 300-yard backstroke relay, event number 5. We got 2 heats on this one as well. Lanes 2 through 7 going to be active. In lane 2, we've got Newington. In lane 3, Rocky Hill. Lane 4, Avon. Lane 5, Bulkeley. Lane 6, East Hartford. And in lane 7, Rocky Hill. That's counting down from the top of your screen down towards the bottom. And they're off. Looks like lane 4, just checking with my naked eye there, looks like lane 4 might be out to an early lead. It's Avon High School. And is that Bulkeley right behind in lane 5? Looks that way. We'll see what the scoreboard says in a moment. And there it is, lane 4 touching at 31 seconds. Lane 5 at 35 seconds. So that's Avon High School and Bulkeley High School. Avon with a pretty strong lead that looks to be increasing. Lane 2 in 3rd place. That's Newington High School. They managed to touch the wall at 43.39 seconds. New swimmer in the water at 105.03. If my eyes can be trusted, it looks like lane 3 might be making a move there with some outside heat. Lane 3, it's going to be Rocky Hill. Trying to make a bit of a contest out of this for lanes 4 and 5, Avon and Bulkeley, but we'll see. Once again, this is one of those races where you find out who your good anchors are. Early on in the season, you can see who can you trust in a pinch. When you've got that medley relay, who's going to be your backstroker? Who can make up some ground? Who can eat up a lap really quickly, you know? Swimmers in the water for a few lanes. And there it is, lane 4 out to an early lead, able to maintain it for the duration of this race. Lane 4, first place, Avon High School, able to finish their race 3 minutes, 15.86 seconds. So this race well in hand for Avon as the next fastest team. Well, I don't see a swimmer actively in the lane for lane 5. Their clock is stopped. It's running again, but I don't see a swimmer in the lane for them. I'm not sure exactly what will happen there. But it looks like second place has been awarded to lane 3. According to our scoreboard, Rocky Hill. And our third place finisher, according to the scoreboard, lane 2, Newington. So well done to all swimmers there. Avon able to finish their race nearly a minute before the next fastest team. So watch out for them this season. Backstroke well in hand for Avon High School. As we cheer on our final swimmers. I'd like to thank you one more time for your viewership and invite you to go ahead and send this link to any friends or family who may be interested. You know, we got a lot of friends and family here in the house. You know anybody who's got kids at Bulkeley or East Hartford, maybe Newington, Avon, Rocky Hill, South Windsor. I mean, a lot of friends in the house. Berlin, Hall. It's not just for Hall and Conard. Farmington, Southington, Windsor. They can all join in the fun. Send that link out. And they can watch us live. Here comes heat number 2. This once again, event number 5, the boys 300-yard backstroke relay. We're going to have 8 lanes active this time around. All teams from the Maroon Division on the water. In lane 1, from the top of your screen, down to the bottom in the following order, lanes 1 to 8, you'll see Farmington High School, Hall High School, Southington, Berlin, Conard, Farmington, Southington, and Farmington. That's lanes 1 to 8. In that order, counting from the top of your screen, we're getting ready for heat number 2 of the boys' 300-yard backstroke relay. There's the whistle, and the swimmers are allowed to enter the water. Heat number 2 of the 300-yard backstroke relay. Looks like lane 3 out to a bit of a lead. That's Southington High School. Lane 6 trying to make a move here on the lower portion of your screen. That'll be Farmington High School. But lane 3 handling it well. Going to touch the wall before any other swimmer. Easily, lane 3 in under 30 seconds. Able to make it down and back. Can he pull it off a second time? There's the turnaround, the push off, the dolphin kicks, and he's right back up. He's got a rhythm going. Our Southington swimmer there in lane 3 going to touch the wall. In just over a minute. 1 minute, 0.6 seconds. Able to make it down and back across this pool 2 full times. Backstroking his way to victory. That was very nice. Well done. And we've got a fresh crop of swimmers hitting the water. At this point, lane 3. I mean, it's their race to lose. They're cruising. Southington High School backstroking their way down the pool. And I'm sure our swimmers from the previous heat, Avon, our first place finishers from the last heat, are watching keenly. Seeing if there's anything they can pick up. Any techniques. any hints, any strategies, anything they can key in on. But here they are in lane 3. A new swimmer on the water, just over 2 minutes able to do that. 2:06.72. And boy, they're cruising. Your first place finisher. Lane 3, Southington High School. Able to do all 300 of the yards required for the win in this race. Almost 10 seconds faster than the next fastest team. They did it in 3:06.05 seconds. Very speedy indeed. Lane 6, able to grab the second place spot. That's Farmington High School. 3:15.6 seconds. Lane 2, Hall High School. 3:24.06 seconds. Grabbing third place there. Lane 1, Farmington in fourth place. Lane 5, fifth place. That'll go to Conard. Still three active lanes. It'll be lanes 4, 7, and 8. Lane 7 will take 6th place, Southington High School. Lane 8 will take 7th place, Farmington High School. And Berlin High School in lane 4, finishing their race.
The next event is the 200-yard freestyle relay. There are 4 heats.
This next race, we got 4 heats on this one. That might sound like a lot, but this one's kind of a sprint. It's the 200-yard freestyle relay. If you don't know, this pool from end to end is 25 yards. And with a freestyle stroke and those dolphin kick underwaters, swimmers tend to eat this one up quite quickly. This first heat, we got 3 schools in the water. Rather, 2 schools, 3 active lanes. Lanes 4 and 6 will both be Bulkeley High School. And in the middle there, lane 5, Newington High School. So three lanes active, 2 schools represented in the water.
Lane 5, P from Newington. Lane 5, the Newington P, 200-free relay. Lane 4 should be Bulkeley. Lane 5, Newington. Lane 6, Bulkeley.
Just getting some quick organization notes. So many schools, swimmers keen to hop onto the starting blocks. They're skipping ahead in the heats there. So our officials just officiating, as they should. Our in-house PA just correcting, giving a quick correction. Bulkeley lane 4, Newington lane 5, Bulkeley lane 6. We got some excited swimmers hopping on the blocks early. That's all right. Swimmers take their marks. There we go. You might have seen it there, a bit of hesitation on the starting blocks. It's early yet this season. And that's what an event like this is all about, getting those jitters out, shaking off the rust. Figuring out your stride. Lane 5, Newington High School, out to a slight lead over lane 6. Some fresh swimmers hit the water. Newington High School making their way, cruising down the middle lane there. Bulkeley on the top and bottom there, lanes 4 and 6. And heat number 1 is where we see newer swimmers. This is where we'll see people cutting their teeth. People earning their goggles. Carving their way through the water is Newington High School right down the middle in lane 5 there. Still maintaining that lead. There are so many parts of a swim technique to pay attention to. Newington High School able to grab the first place spot there. 209.8. They wrap their race up. Bulkeley in the water. So many parts to a swim technique to perfect, right? Beyond just the freestyle or the breaststroke or the backstroke or any of those, there's also the dive in. There's the timing of swapping out in the relay. You dive in too soon, you could disqualify your team for the entire race. You dive in too late, you could put your team behind at a deficit that you're not able to make up for the entire race. So there's a lot of teamwork, there's a lot of coordination that goes into it. Bulkeley in lane 4 able to wrap their race up now. 251.37. Lane 6, wrapping it up at 306.6. That'll do that for heat number 1. That was heat number 1 of 4. So new swimmers taking the starting blocks for the next heat. Seeing if their training has paid off. Have they honed those techniques, those non-swimming aspects of swimming? As you see them now adjusting their starting blocks. That's part of your technique. The poise, your stance on the starting block, that's part of your technique. How you enter the water. Do you make a big splash? Do you enter smoothly? That's part of your technique. It matters. It all counts. We got 7 lanes active for heat number 2. Counting down from the top of your screen, lane number 1. Farmington in lane number 1, and lane number 2, South Windsor. Lane 3, Berlin. Lane 4, Hall. Lane 5, Farmington. Lane 6, Hall. Lane 7, Southington. So from the top of your screen down, in that order, that's who you'll see. And in lane 2, South Windsor out to a bit of a lead. Looks like they're being challenged, though, by Hall in lane 4. Southington and Hall, lanes 2 and 4, still duking it out. Hall with a little bit of ground to make up, though. all about 2 strokes behind. But closing the gap. There's lane 2 touching the wall. Under a minute, they've got their next swimmer in the water. South Windsor doing great. Hall staying right with them though in lane 4. I mean, Hall's hanging not quite neck and neck with South Windsor in lane 2 there, but within striking distance. Only problem is they're running out of race. If they're going to make a move, they got to do it soon. And the turnaround in lane 2, very smooth. And that's why they're maintaining their lead. And extending. Not just maintaining, but extending. There it is, lane 2 done, under 2 minutes, 1:54.34 seconds. Well done to South Windsor. Lane 4, just over 2 minutes, 2:01.38. Well done to Hull High School there. Lane 1 going to grab 3rd place. That's Farmington High School touching the wall at 2:14.28 seconds. Our 4th place finisher is in lane 6. That'll be Hull High School, 2:17.22. Lane 3, 5th place, Berlin High School. 6th place will go to lane 7. That's Southington High School. And our final swimmer touches the wall in lane 5, Farmington High School. Well done to South Windsor, out to a strong start in this race and just able to hold on to it the entire way. That was heat number 2. We got 2 more to go in this event. This event being the 200-yard freestyle relay. Heat number 3, we got 8 active lanes. From the top of your screen to the bottom in this order, you will find Rocky Hill, lane 1, Avon, lane 2, Bulkeley, lane 3, East Hartford, lane 4, Newington, lane 5, Bulkeley, lane 6, East Hartford, lane 7, and Rocky Hill, lane 8, right at the bottom of your screen. They take their marks, and now there they are. And as you see, off the starting blocks, your start off those starting blocks can dictate a lot about your race. And there's lane 2 and 5 off to a strong start both. That'll be lane 2 Avon, lane 5 Newington. And lane 2 able to touch the wall just ahead of them. Just ahead of lane 5 there. 24 seconds. Lane 5 touching at 25 seconds. Just about 1 second behind. High School gets a fresh swimmer hitting the water in under a minute. So far, the story is just about the same as the previous heat. The swimmer in lane 2 got off to a strong start. And the swimmers relieving him continued that strong start into a strong finish, and it looks to be no different this time around. This time it's Avon, though. Check that out. The scoreboard says it all. Avon, lane 2, narrowly beaten by lane 5, Newington. Newington grabs the first place spot, lane 5. They finish 48.31 seconds. And right behind them, Avon High School, 49 seconds flat. 0.3 of a second. 0.3 of a second separating first and second place. That's why I tell you, it's so important to get all those little techniques, those little tweaks right? The entry into the water, that could be the difference. That could be your 0.3 of a second right there, the way you entered the water. Your turnaround off the wall, that could be your 0.3 of a second right there. And that's why early in the season, it's good to get your swimmers exposed to a meet like this, where they can learn those types of things. They can see those kinds of things in practice and in action. They can see the impact of a sloppy entry into the water or a late start. They can see exactly where you get from that. They can see that when the guy in the lane next to them did his dolphin kicks a little bit longer, he was able to finish a full 3 seconds ahead. Every little bit counts. Just cheering on final swimmer here. To raucous applause, lane 7 makes their way to wrap this race up. Rather, lane 8. Here comes heat number 4 of the 200-yard freestyle relay. Once again, we've got 8 lanes active, and from the top of your screen to the bottom, you'll find the following schools in the following order. In lane 1, Southington. Lane 2, South Windsor. Lane 3, Berlin High School. Lane 4, Conard High School. Lane 5, Farmington. Lane 6, Hall High School. Lane 7, Farmington. And lane 8, Southington. This is one of the later heats. We're seeing a lot more experienced swimmers now, so as you can see, it's a little more tight. The grouping is a little more tightly packed at the same level here. We'll see someone emerge. Looks like lane 4, Conard High School. Going to get out to a bit of a lead there, touching the wall first at 21.79 seconds. Can it be maintained is the question. So far, so good. Lane 4, Conard High School, maintaining it. Chomping at their heels on lane 5 is Farmington High School, right behind them. Oh my goodness, 0.5 of a second separating lanes 4 and 5 at that last wall touch. And it's happened. Farmington's overtaken them. Lane 5 now your leader. Farmington High School. Looks like a strategy play on Farmington's end there. Putting their 2 stronger swimmers later in the relay. Some excellent swimmers to start, to set the pace. And then their 2 closers. There it is. Lane 5, Farmington High School, able to wrap this one up. 1 minute, 36.13 seconds. Well done, Farmington. Right behind him in lane 6, Hall High School. 1 minute, 38.72. And then there's Conard in lane 2. Or rather, excuse me, lane 2. 3rd place, lane 2 that's South Windsor. Conard managed to fall all the way down to 4th. Well Well done to Farmington there, getting some good use out of their anchor swimmers.
Next event is the 300-yard butterfly. I would need somebody to want to watch on lane 9 and report. Lane 9, I need someone to want to watch and report it. That's Avon.
All right.
Mr.
Moving along to event number 7. This will be only one heat this time around. It's the 300-yard butterfly relay. You know, normally I read out the record times. I don't think any records are in any danger today. This is kind of just stretch your legs, get a feel for the event kind of a situation. I don't know if any records are going to be challenged tonight, but it's fun to keep an eye on them. The record for this one, the 300-yard butterfly relay, set by Southington back in 2022. They managed to do it in 3 minutes, 37.79 seconds. And Southington's here tonight. Let's see what they can do. Lane 1, Bulkeley High School. Lane 2, East Hartford. Lane 3, Newington. Lane 4, Rocky Hill. Lane 5, South Windsor. Lane 6, Farmington. Lane 7, Southington, our record holders. Lane 8, South Windsor. And Lane 9, Avon High School. 9 lanes active this time around. Can our scoreboard even track 9 lanes? I don't think we have enough slots on the scoreboard for that. I think we got someone manually timing. Well, according to the scoreboard we can see, it looks like lane 5 is out to a lead. That'll be South Windsor. Only one heat here, and all these swimmers giving it everything they've got. No need in holding back here. Next set of swimmers begin to enter the water. Once again, the record for this one set back in 2022, 2 minutes, 37.79 seconds. That was Southington High School that did that. I don't know that that record's in any danger tonight. That's a pretty speedy record. And given that we're already at the 2:25 mark, we've still got swimmers yet to enter the water. Perhaps later in the season. I love seeing that later in the season when we get closer towards states, you know, and we see the swimmers have really come into their own and they've honed their technique. They've figured out their underwaters. They figured out their entry, their smooth entry off the starting block. They got their timing with their teammates. They figured out the turnaround and then the underwaters. It's really nice to see them go after those records because they go after them with vigor. They try to take those records down. And every year we're treated to seeing a few records get taken down and brand new history made. Speaking of history made, we've got a first place finisher here, lane 5, South Windsor. Jumped out to an early lead and just maintained it. 3 minutes, 10 seconds, able to finish first place. 8 seconds ahead of the second place finisher down in lane 7. That'd be Southington High School at 3:18.9. And our third place finisher in lane 1, that's Bulkeley High School, 3:32.83. Well done to all of our swimmers. As we cheer our final swimmers in for a smooth landing here. There we go, and it looks like this one's in the books. Little issue with the scoreboard there. Our official in-house says we'll just use the backup clock. So I don't have the accurate times for you. I apologize for that. But technical difficulties beyond my control. I do apologize. But with that, we do move on to event number 8. That's going to be the 200-yard medley relay. 3 heats on this one. Heat number 1. We're going to see, in lane 1, we'll see Farmington. In lane 2, Berlin. Lane 3 will be Hall. Lane 4, South Windsor. Lane 5, Southington. Lane 6, Hall. And lane 7, Rocky Hill. I love those pink swim caps. Rocky Hill is rocking pink tonight. I love that. Very distinctive.
There are 3 heats. This is the starter.
Taking a look at the record for this one held by Manchester. They're not here tonight, but back in 2014, they were able to finish this one. 1 minute 42.92 seconds. That is fast. Less than 2 minutes is out of control. But here we go. Farmington in lane 1 once again. Berlin in lane 2. Hall in lane 3. South Windsor in lane 4. Southington in lane 5. Hall again in lane 6. And Rocky Hill, lane 7. Looks like lane 4, South Windsor, out to a pretty commanding lead. And they're going to touch the wall first. 33.9 seconds. In lane 4, South Windsor, out to a strong lead. And this one, different from the other relays we've seen. This is the medley relay. Each swimmer are going to exhibit a different swim style. Moved on now to the butterfly. New swimmers hitting the water. Looks like lanes 3 and 4. Pretty close. That'll be South Windsor and Hall High School. 0.2 of a second separating them at that previous wall touch. Both touching at 1:16. But now we're starting to see some separation. South Windsor, broad strokes. Chewing the pool up right now. And South Windsor in lane 4, their final swimmers on the water, off and rolling with his freestyle stroke. And lane 4, South Windsor, they're just going to go ahead and cruise right on in and grab this first place spot. There it is. Touching the wall at 2:14.13. Well done to them. Lane 3, Hall High School at 2 minutes, 22.7 seconds. Pool freestyling their way to a close here. Lane 7 grabbing the third place spot at 2 minutes 46 seconds. Lane 7 will be Rocky Hill. Well done to all of our swimmers. That's heat number 1 in the books. Moving on to heat number 2. 5 lanes will be active, using lanes 2 through 6. Toward the top of your screen in lane 2, you'll see Bulkeley High School. In lane 3, East Hartford. In lane 4, Newington. Lane 5, Rocky Hill. And in lane 6, Avon. As our swimmers don their goggles and straighten their swim caps, I want to invite you one more time to go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that. Makes you privy to all the good stuff that we have here at WHCI, and we're so happy to bring it to you. Do yourself that favor, hit that subscribe button. We'll be here for boys swimming all season long, just like we were here. We were here for the girls. We did girls swimming. We'll do boys swimming. We did football. We'll do basketball. That's coming up soon. We'll do hockey. We're already underway with hockey. Check us out tomorrow. All Conard girls playing tomorrow against Darien. 1:30 game time for that. We're happy to bring it to you, and we're even happier when you bring it to friends and family. Go ahead and send that link out to folks. I always get thank yous from grateful parents and grandparents. Oh, my mom lives in Missouri and she'd love to see little Timmy swim, and now she can because WHCI brings it to her, and we're happy to do it. We're off and running. Lane 6, Avon High School, showing off their backstroke skills once again. Off to an early lead. Chewing up the pool, Avon High School. But once again, this is the medley relay. So while they are strong backstrokers, let's see what they can do with the other 3 styles. Lane 6. Just about 31 seconds. Able to make it down and back with that backstroke. Very impressive. And they're underwaters. Check out those underwaters in lane 6. That was not bad at all. Not too shabby. They call it the 5th stroke. When you hit that wall, you turn around and you push off. That can make a huge difference in your race. Here's lane 6, Avon High School, showing their mastery, cruising to a speedy victory. Everyone else just now hitting the water with their butterfly as Avon comes in with their freestyle. So nearly a full stroke style ahead of the rest of the pack. Avon going to happily cruise to a victory here, a first place finish. But just to show you how impressive that record is, Avon's done a fantastic job. They're going to finish here. They're going to touch the wall. There it is, 2:02.2 seconds. Able to wrap their race up, but Manchester, man, back in 2014, over a decade ago, set the record, 1:42.9 seconds. As you can see, that's so fast. That's crazy. No wonder that record's over a decade old. We got a second place finisher, touching the wall at 2 minutes and 21 seconds. In lane 2, that's Bulkeley High School. Lane 5 grabbing third place at 2:28.7, Rocky Hill. Well done to all of our swimmers. We get ready for heat number 3 as our swimmers await the signal to extract themselves from the water. In heat number 3, we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes active once again. It'll be lanes 2 through 6. It'll be Farmington in lanes 2 and 3, Hall High School in lane 4, South Windsor in lane 5, and Southington in lane 6. Our swimmers into the water. water and prepare to open things up in this third and final heat with their backstroke. Once again, Farmington, Hall, South Windsor, and Southington. From top of your screen to the bottom, that's who you see in the water. Looks like South Windsor, they're in lane 5, duking it out. Duking it out with Southington in lane 6 and Hall in lane 4. It's going to be a tight grouping there, but South Windsor inching out ahead of the rest. South Windsor, the fastest backstroker. Let's see what they can do with the breaststroke. Hall and Southington now competing for second place, but South Windsor is just chewing up lane 5. Some separation now between Southington and Hall. Hall taking a bit of a lead, moving into the second place spot. Southington firmly in third. South Windsor once again cruising their way to a first place finish on this one. Everybody else is playing catch up. And there's Hall extending their lead in second. The gap between second and third is growing. But so is the gap between first and second. So South Windsor, they're out of here. They're on their way home right now. I mean, so there's some outside heat coming from Hall, but this pool needs to be about 20 yards longer for that to make a difference. South Windsor, there it is. Under 2 minutes, 154.04 seconds, lane 5. Well done to South Windsor. In lane 4, Hall High School, also under 2 minutes. Very impressive. 158.7. And looks like Southington High School, or rather, excuse me, Farmington sneaking in just under the wire, grabbing the third place spot. Lane 3, Farmington. 216.8. .216.8, and then fourth place, Southington, 217.3. And that'll be all 3 heats in the books for that 200-yard medley relay. We move now to the 400-yard freestyle relay. We got 3 heats on this one as well. We'll see an interesting grouping in the pool here. Lanes 1 and 2 will be occupied by Berlin and Farmington. We'll skip lane 3. Hall High School will be in lane 4. Lane 5 is also empty. And then lanes 6 and 7, we'll see Rocky Hill and Bulkeley. So Hall High School in the middle there, all by their lonesome. No one in the adjacent lanes. That can be something of an advantage. Not really having to deal with the splashes from an adjacent swimmer or the turbulence that they create in the water. And it's proven to be in a bit of an advantage right now as Hall High School is cruising, absolutely cruising in first place. That's lane 4 right there in the middle of your screen. About a full lap ahead of the rest of the pack. New swimmer hits the water in lane 4. That's Hall High School, the first team to do so. think I got to make a correction here. I'm looking at the swim caps of the swimmers in lane 5, or rather lane 4. It looks like those are South Windsor swim caps. I'm just looking at my run sheet here. It shows me Hall in that lane, so I do apologize. I see an SW on that cap. That's not how you spell Hall High School. I'm going to go ahead and say that's South Windsor, so I do apologize for the confusion there. The other lanes look to be accurate. So pardon me, that looks like South Windsor absolutely cruising to a first place finish there in lane 4. South Windsor swimmer entering the water. Let's take a look at this technique. Silent. That's good. As little splash as possible on entry. The more splash you make, the more resistance you encounter on entry. And the more chance of knocking the wind out of yourself as well. Neither of those things are things you want to do in a swim race. You want to be like a fish. You want to enter the water nice and smooth. The more resistance you encounter, the slower your swim stroke. And South Windsor showing us how it's done right now. And there it is. Touching the wall just under 4 minutes is South Windsor in lane 4. It's coming in handy being in the middle of the pool there. Taking a look at lane 4, it looks like they have finished their race. But once again, a problem with the scoreboard. The clock is continuing to run. There. Now able to clock in the swimmer. And this is why I tell you, it's early in the season. Some of these swimmers are a little green. You got to hit the tag at the end of the pool. You got to make sure you make full contact. There's a pad under the water right up against the wall at the starting block. When you touch that, it stops the clock for your lane. But you got to hit it straight on. You got to know how to hit that pad. And so the swimmer there in lane 4, South Windsor, added probably an additional 15 or so seconds to their time, because he just didn't know how to hit the pad the right way. His team was showing him on the edge of the pool. No, hit it straight on, hit it straight on. He figured it out, and they still got the first place finish. But better to figure it out now than later in the season when there's a little more on the line. This is why I say this is perfecting techniques. That's what we're here for. We're perfecting techniques. The little things you don't think about. The fit of your swim cap, the fit of your goggles. Do you wear nose plugs? Is your hair cut? All of those things count.
I need a backup time for lane 6, backup time for lane 6.
Also working the kinks out as far as technology used here at Cornerstone Pool. There's been a couple of times where we've needed to use the backup clock because the swimmer did hit the pad straight on and it just didn't register.
Mike, there will be of team swimming in lane 6 this event. This heat, team swimming in lane 6.
So a good time in the seasonal workout, Kinks.
Hang on, I'm ready.
Both on the tech end, on the athletic end, on the coaching end. How do we order our guys in our relays? Who starts us off? Who carries us through? Who wraps us up? Working that out right now, early in the season. Taking a look at the pool. Once again, I don't think I'm able to trust my run sheet here. Doesn't look like it's matching exactly what I see in front of me. Somewhat it does. It's not quite accurate. I'll have to go off my eagle eyes. Eagle eye vision. It looks like that's East Hartford, according to my run sheet in lane 1, and according to my eyes, it looks like that's them as well. My run sheet says Newington High School's in lane 2, and so do my eyes. That looks about right. Rocky Hill in lane 3, yeah, got the pink swim caps, that's them. Avon in lane 4. Is that Avon in lane 4? Looks like it might be. My run sheet tells me Bulkeley's in lane 5, but my eyes tell me that's Hull High School. So I'm going to say it's Hull. I got to go with the swim caps, ladies and gentlemen. It says Hull right on the side. That's them, in lane 5. This once again is the 400-yard freestyle relay. Taking a look at the record for this one, set by our very own Hull High School back in 2022. Able to finish this one up in 3 minutes, 24 seconds. Pretty speedy, if I do say so myself. A lot of times this race can take upwards of 5 minutes. So to finish it in under 3.5 is that's impressive. New swimmers into the water. Fresh swimmers in every lane. New swimmer in the water. at a first place finisher. That'll be Avon High School, wrapping up their race in 3:52.4 seconds. Not too shabby. Our second place finisher is lane 2, Newington High School, 4:16. For our third place finisher. We've got some swimmers making their way in right now. Who's that going to be? Maybe Hall just ahead of? No. Not just ahead of. Looks like is that lane 5. It's not showing me a finished state there, but I don't see an active swimmer in the lane. There it goes, lane 5, third place. 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Lane 1, fourth place. East Hartford, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Once again in looks like lane 3, we're going to need a backup time there. It looks like not quite sure when that lane finished, based on what the scoreboard shows us. Our officials keep official track of the official score in a very official manner over at the officials table, and they'll have those records. You just trust. We move on to heat number 3. We're going to have 8 lanes happening. Hopefully my run sheet is accurate to what I'll see in the pool before me. It looks that way so far. Lane 1, Conard High School. Lane 2, Farmington. Lane 3, Hall. Lane 4, Southington. Lane 5, South Windsor. Lane 6, Farmington. Lane 7, Southington. It shows me a lane 8 on my heat sheet, but there is no lane 8 diving into the water. Other than that, it is accurate. So lanes 1 through 7 are active, and lane 1, Conard High School, off to a rip-roaring start. A full, looks like 4 or so strokes ahead of the next fastest swimmer. That'll be Farmington in lane 2. And then lane 5, South Windsor, looks to be in third place. For now, that's the case. Conard, though, at this point about a quarter of a lap ahead of the next fastest swimmer. They're extending their lead. Let's see if it can be maintained. Once again, Farmington, looks like South Windsor duking it out for second place. Farmington making a move now, separating themselves from South Windsor. So now there is a distinct first place swimmer and a distinct second place swimmer. But right now, Farmington making some headroom, making some headway against Conard. Lanes 1 and 2, we might see Farmington overtake. Here it is, Farmington now in the lead. Conard High School in second place. Check out that turnaround. Look at those underwaters. Farmington able to get a little bit more out of their dolphin kicks. New swimmer for Farmington hits the water. There it is. He's in. And that's it. These Farmington swimmers are not going to be overtaken at this point. It Looks like they stacked their deck. Their faster swimmers are definitely their anchors here. It's the fourth and final swimmer for Farmington. That's lane 2, stepping up to the block right now. The first one to do so. And that's that. It looks like everybody else is fighting for second place here. Farmington's well ahead. And there's lane 2, Farmington High School, grabbing that first place spot. 3 minutes, 40 seconds. And who's the next fastest team? Let's see. Like I said, everybody else is playing for second at this point. There's lane 5 grabbing the second place spot. 18 seconds later, that is. Lane 5 will be South Windsor. Third place goes to lane 1, Conard. So pretty much the same top 3 from the start of the race in the same order. It's just that Farmington just got out to such a huge lead. Able to touch at, once again, 3:40. The next fastest team, South Windsor, touching at 3:58. And then third place, 4:09. And there it is. This one's in the books. Well done to all of our swimmers.
The next event is the 400-yard.
Here comes event number 10.
4 swimmers, each doing a 100 individual medley. There are 2 heats. Let's start.
This is event number 10. It's our final event. Our final event. 2 heats on this one. It's the 400-yard individual relay. So we've seen all 4 swim strokes tonight. That being the freestyle, the backstroke, the breaststroke, the butterfly. We'll see all 4 of those in this relay, but there will be a single swimmer, an individual swimmer, individual medley performing all 4 swim strokes here.
Lane 2, Rocky Hill. Lane 2, Rocky Hill.
A little confusion at the starting blocks.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to trust my eyes on this one. It looks like Rocky Hill's in the water. Looks like East Hartford's in the water. Rocky Hill there in the pink cap towards the bottom of your screen. East Hartford in the lane adjacent, just above them. And I'm sorry, I can't trust my run sheet here. It's a little different. My run sheet tells me that there should be another Rocky Hill lane, but that's not the case. So it looks like Bulkeley is there. So Bulkeley in lane 3, East Hartford in lane 4, Rocky Hill in lane 5. breaststroke now. And now the freestyle from Bulkeley. Said we're working the kinks out here. And I think I've got a kink or two myself to work out. I thought we were doing the individual medley, but I'm seeing new swimmers hit the water. Once again, I'm not able to trust my run sheet, but that's all right. We're still having a good time. Taking a look at the record for this one, set back in 2023. December 15th. What's today? Is today the 15th? Almost. So almost exactly 2 years ago, Southington set the record here. Today's the 12th. We're only 3 days off from the anniversary of Southington setting the record at this event. They were able to do it under 4 minutes. They did it in 3 minutes, 56 seconds. Southington is here tonight. They'll be in heat number 2. They'll be in the following heat. We'll see what they've got. Maybe they go for it. So there's Rocky Hill with another swimmer hitting the water. Bulkeley and East Hartford backstroking and freestyling respectively. Hill on a backstroke to the starting block. A backstroke from East Hartford now. Okay, I think I've worked out the kink that I didn't understand. This is the 4x 100 individual medley relay. So it's like race inception. There's a race within a race here. So there are 4 swimmers per lane, each swimmer individually responsible for each swim stroke. Usually in an individual medley relay, there is one swimmer responsible, or rather in a medley relay, there is one swimmer responsible for each swim stroke. In an individual medley relay, I'm getting tongue-tied over here. In an individual relay, a single swimmer is responsible for all things. In a medley relay, 4 swimmers are each responsible for one stroke. In an individual medley relay, a combination of the two, you've got 4 swimmers, each one responsible for each swim stroke. So we're doubling up on the responsibilities for our swimmers. I told you, I've never been to a swim meet like this one. This is really interesting to see. All relays. You don't normally see that. It really puts the teamwork aspect of the swim team on display. We've got a first place finisher. That'll be lane 3, Bulkeley High School. They did it in 5 minutes, 12 seconds. Well done to Bulkeley. Here comes lanes 4 and 5. Lane 5, you'll see Rocky Hill. Lane 4, East Hartford. Lane 5, second place, 5 minutes, 37 seconds. Lane 4, finishing their race at 5:42. That's East Hartford. Well done. Well done to all of our swimmers as they pull themselves from the water. We get ready for the second and final heat for our 10th and final event. And it looks like we'll have 6 lanes active. 3 of those 6 lanes will be filled with Farmington swimmers. Lane 1, you'll see Berlin. Lanes 2, 3, and 4 are all Farmington. Lane 5 and 6, South Windsor, and our record holders, Southington. Looks like Southington out to a slight lead over lane 2 Farmington. On to the breaststroke is Southington. Lane 2 Farmington still in second place, but drifting behind. There's South Windsor in lane 5. Putting on some pressure for the Farmington team there. But Southington in lane 6 cruising. New swimmer for Southington. Coming out the gates with a butterfly. And fantastic dolphin kicks right into a backstroke. Not emerging until at least a third of the way down the pool. Hitting the wall there, lane 6, under a minute and a half. No other team able to hit the wall that quickly. And here he is on his breaststroke. Southington right down at the bottom of your screen, lane 6. And there he is, freestyling his way in. Looking to get his relieving swimmer into the water. Get the timing right here, boys. Don't want to be DQ'd. Here comes the wall touch. There it is, new swimmer in the water. Lane 6 touching the wall at 2:05. Right into a backstroke, right down lane 6. I mean, at this point, we're seeing some really strong swims from these guys here at Southington High School. Gonna have to watch out for them this season. I've been very impressed by some performances here from some of these schools. Avon a standout, Southington a standout, South Windsor. I mean, no slouches in the bunch, but there have been some standout performances. And the final swimmer for Southington has hit the water, and he's chewing up the lane. Lane 6, right down the bottom of your screen. Energy is electric right here, right in front of me. We got swimmers and coaches, full-throated cheering. Lane 6 about to put a bow on it. Freestyling their way to a first place finish. Bam, there it is. 4 minutes, 10.7 seconds. Their race is done. Congratulations to Southington. An excellent performance. About 6 seconds behind Southington is lane 5, South Windsor, doing a bang-up job themselves. 4 minutes, 16.6 seconds. And then in lane 2, 4:24.37. That's Farmington.
Ron Dominguez, can you talk to the timing table? Ron Dominguez.
A fantastic job, a fantastic race by all of our swimmers, by all of our teams. A performance that we'll see more and more of as the season goes on. We'll get to learn these swimmers a little bit better. We'll get to learn these teams a little bit better. We'll get to learn these coaches a little bit better. And if you want to come along with us for the ride, Weehaw, and anyone else watching, hit that subscribe button. And you'll get to see us all season long right here at the shimmering waters of Cornerstone Pool. We really do thank you for your viewership. We thank you for hitting that subscribe button. We thank you for sharing the link out with friends and with family. And we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be across the street at Veterans Memorial Ice Rink for Hall and Conard girls ice hockey. Tomorrow at 1:30 is face-off. We're up against Darien, and we'll see you there. WHCI is happy to bring that to you as well. Once again, my name is Chris Prentice. Thank you so much for your viewership. We really do appreciate you. Weehaw, you stay beautiful. We love you, and we'll see you at the next one. Have a fantastic evening.